Welcome back to my segment of Unprofessional Advice. Today's topic, I know y'all are seeing a lot of me now that I'm being a little more consistent. I kind of just want to talk about, is club culture dead? Like, is club culture dead? I don't know, because I feel like for the past year and a half or 2 years, I've been trying to convince myself that I just had a brain fart. Is club culture dead? Like, we're just gonna explore this topic and see where it kind of just leads us. I didn't really go much to the club or, to be honest, out at all for the past, I want to say year and a half ago, 2 years, just because I don't know. I feel like this whole time I was just trying to convince myself, and I don't know about y'all, but I was trying to convince myself that I needed to be inside the whole time and that the club or being outside just wasn't for me. And I'm not gonna lie, I fell victim to that idea of, yeah, I'm supposed to be inside. It's not that popping out there. Like, there's no need for me to be out there anymore. You know what I mean? Like, the streets aren't for me. When I say the streets could clearly mean anything. It could be like the club, but in this in this episode, we're just gonna call the streets like the club, going outside, just doing all of that. It doesn't have to necessarily, you don't have to be doing anything. If you know, you know. But I mean, like, just going outside, having a good ass time with your friends, dancing, being crazy up on the dance floor. I try to convince myself, I want to say for like a year and a half or 2 years ago, that I was just like, you know what? Going to the streets, going outside isn't for me. Right now, I want to say it's still not really for me, but I feel like for some reason there's this little spark in me that just like it woke up, and I kind of want to say that Charlie XCX, and I know what y'all are going to say. You're going to say, "Sarah, fucking Charlie made you want to go outside? Charlie made you want to be in the streets?" The answer is yes, because with her album, I feel like we kind of embrace this kind of like club culture, or like this feeling of like going outside. I don't know about y'all, but the album Brat just awoke something in me, and I felt like I needed to be outside in the streets, whatever the hell that looks like for anyone, and just having a good ass time and not caring about what anyone else thinks. Because I feel like in terms of like club culture and like going outside, or in terms of like social media, I feel like a lot of the time we were kind of convinced that like being outside wasn't really cool. I don't know about y'all, but that's how I kind of saw it. And I feel like this like soft girl, clean girl kind of era, which there's nothing wrong with it. But when that came about, like for the very first time, like it was very much like, oh, we need to be inside, we need to be reserved, we need to be clean. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, because if that's you, that's you. But then you can also be a party girl. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with also being a party girl. My dog is under my bed and she's eating a freaking pen. Actually, a wooden pencil. And I'm just really concerned right now. But yeah, it's currently 11 p.m. at night right now, and I don't know how I'm filming this episode. We're just running on vibes, right? Okay, we're running on vibes. Topic. I hate when I go off topic. I feel like I just forget what I was talking about. I don't really remember. Yeah, but I feel like we were convinced that club culture wasn't really that poppin'. We were supposed to go outside. I get it. I get it. But I feel like something awoke in me when Brat came out, and I needed to be out there. Also felt like going to clubs or like being messy, like, you know how in the early 2000s we were just like, not we, because I wasn't really in that era, I'm not gonna lie, but during that time, girls, everyone out there were wearing their chunky heels, big hair, being messy. Like, just think about Jersey Shore, being crazy, not caring about what anyone else thinks or looks like, and just being messy and crazy out there. And I feel like nobody really cared at that time. And I feel like with the rise of like social media and like apps and like seeing what everyone's up to, or honestly, like the fear of being embarrassed too, kind of made us a little more reserved. We were kind of scared to show not like our true colors, but like our true colors. You know what I mean? Like, that stuff was just kind of like, I don't know, like we were very, very reserved. I recently started going out this whole month. Don't ask me why. Do not ask me why, because I'm low key. I'm like, now I feel like I just need a weekend to be inside. And this low key was my weekend to be inside, but I also went outside on Friday and that was fun. Like that was crazy, but this whole month I've been outside and what I can tell you guys about that is it was very much needed. What I didn't do in college happened, I feel like just this whole month. Outside, one or two things. I feel like one, which I've always been known, and you're gonna be like, Sarah, what the fuck? Like, this has always been known. But I'm not gonna find my husband out there. Just know that. I'm not gonna find my husband out on the streets. He's not gonna be at the clubs because deep in my gut and in my soul, he is at home right now working, whatever the hell he's doing, he's working, he is getting his shit together, he's doing whatever he needs to do, and he's inside. I can promise you, I am not gonna meet my husband out on the streets. That is clear. That's already in my mind whenever I go outside. I don't know, men could low-key be so cringe sometimes when you go outside. Like this whole month, I want to say like this earlier this month, I was drinking so much, and I feel like you don't really catch cringe when you're at that level. But this past weekend, I was like, you know what? I need to be sober just a little bit um than I usually am because I work the next morning and I need to do all these things and I committed myself to like, okay, let me just do one drink and I'll be fine. So, I was the most sober I've ever been like I want to say most of the times that I go out, and this past weekend has taught me that men are just so cringe. So I'm just walking like across the street and this guy's just trying to get my attention and he's literally like, oh my god, I want you. Oh my god, we need to be we're like this. We need to be get with you're my soul. Like Mans was saying that we were alike and we were the same, but I'm like, how are we the same if you don't even know my last name? It's just the way that they say and the way that they approach you. It's so cringe. Like, it's so cringe. And I know you're going to be like, Sarah, it's the club. Don't take it so serious. You're supposed to have fun. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to do that. You just had an episode talking about it is okay to be cringe or whatever. This is a different type of cringe. Like, this is a different type of cringe. Like, this type of cringe from men gives me the ick. I promise you, these whole episodes are gonna sound like I hate men, but I promise you I don't. I really don't because I do think that there's some that have good intentions and then there's some that are amazing and that are like whatever, right? But the majority of them can't. I literally can't be making this shit up because it's like if you don't even talk to them, it's like they get mad. They get mad and they start to like just low-key like insult you or like spoiled children. The math is not mathing. Club culture in terms of this is just like I feel like it's coming back. Especially because I'm from the Bay and I feel like the Bay doesn't really have like I don't know, but I just feel like it's not the scene out here really for me. But these past few times that I've been going out, I feel like they've been low key good. Not low key. They've been really, really good. Like it's pretty up there. It's pretty up there for me. Going out, even if you don't want to sometimes, is good for the soul. I feel like it's good to be thrown in crazy situations and just like little silly situations sometimes to just, have that moment of Justin Bieber where he's like, life is worth it. I feel like this is what made me kind of explore this topic of like club culture because let me tell y'all, before, like I said in the beginning, I was like, let me not do too much. Let me be clean. Let me like be demure. Let me be a little settled. Like, let me, I was just, that's what I was scared of like, being messy, being crazy. And ever since like Charlie came out with this album, I feel like something inside me was sparked. Definitely something changed with this album because in terms of her music, I feel like nobody understood it, but yet everyone loved it. And in terms of everyone, I mean me. Because let me tell y'all, her music and her story is low key like inspiring. And I just kind of want to talk about her for a second because when I think of club culture right now, at least, nobody else is doing it like Charlie in terms of club culture or just culture in general. She came out with this album Brat, right? During a time where it was kind of embarrassing to be like very, very cunt, very, very out there, very, very just like messy. And when she came out with this, I kind of like went deep into like her lore, right? And she released I Love It, I want to say like 10 years ago, right? still try to come out with a bunch of music, still try to like, drop little bangers, but nothing really like hit until like her album came out, right? And she's like 32 now at this point. And what's really inspiring about this is that she did not give up. She is in her 30s and she is still like partying. Not saying that your 30s is like being old or anything, because I personally think that's still very young. But she literally is still doing it like no other. And ever since she released this album, I feel like every song has a similar theme, in the sense that like it's okay to be messy, it's okay to be crazy, and it's okay to be cringe, it's okay to be all the things that you're fearing. She put that all into an album and just kind of like threw it at us. Like she literally just threw it at us and we took it and we ran with it, and I can honestly say is the best thing she ever came out with. She is also another thing of like not giving up on your vision. I feel like truly like nobody else is doing it like her. It's like her and Gaga for me are like kind of like on a similar vibe and type of like thing for me, because nobody understood the vision of Gaga, right? Everyone thought she was crazy. Oh my god, people probably still think she's crazy, but she's popping. She's been that girl ever since, and nobody understood her vision. Just like with Charlie, nobody understood her vision, and she, I want to say she, in terms of me, she brought back club culture. She brought back the messiness. She brought back the craziness. She brought back like it's okay to be messy sometimes. It's okay to not be demure all the time. Not all like that 100% of the time, nor should we act like that, because I feel like in terms of social media, I feel like a lot of the times we're also like portraying that we are perfect. Everything is perfect. Everything is the way it should be. We're clean, we're sleeping, we're doing this, we're doing that. In the age of like posting everything's perfect and not everything's like messy or anything, hides kind of like the idea of authenticity. And I kind of want to lead into this with like, when you don't post the messiness, when you don't post the craziness, that's kind of like, for me, it's like, I feel like that's not my brand anymore, to be like perfect, 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 because that's not my life, nor is it anyone else's. And I feel like it's kind of important to kind of show that we can be messy sometimes, and that's okay. The song by Hannah Montana, I'm just an ordinary girl. And I'm out here freaking doing karaoke too. That's on vocals. Like that song kind of ties back to the idea of authenticity. Like we're not ordinary girls. Sometimes we get lazy, and sometimes we get bored, and sometimes we hate to feel ignored. Like I feel like that's every single one of us, and nobody else is talking about it. So I feel like this is my outlet to be talking about it. I have these moments where I crash out. Sometimes crashing out is good for the soul, you know? Sometimes it's good to like have a bunch of shit like pile up and then you just blow up. You know what I mean? Like, unpopular opinion, maybe a therapist will tell you a whole different thing, but this is unprofessional advice. And in the name unprofessional, it's unprofessional. Sometimes it's good to crash out. I don't know. I feel like it's good to crash out sometimes, and I feel like it kind of brings you back down from the stress. And you know what I think about sometimes? I think about how we're little small molecules on this earth, and that one day none of this is gonna matter. None of this is gonna matter. You're like, Sarah, but you have to take life seriously. You have to, you know, think about what your life is gonna be looking like. Girl, I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I don't even know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Like, that's how real I am about this, because I feel like that's everyone else. Nobody really has a set plan on what their life is gonna look like. And you're gonna be like, Sarah, how did club culture go from club culture topic to what your life is gonna look like? Well, I don't know. Like this episode is just kind of all over the place. But please bear with me. It's gonna go somewhere, or it's already going somewhere. Here to blink to blink. Y'all hear me? Blink to bring club culture back. The messiness, the craziness, the crashing out part. I want it all to be brought back. And like everything in life, in moderation. I'm not saying go out every single day and crash out and be drunk or anything, because no, that's not what I'm saying at all. No, no, no. I don't recommend that at all. Even in unprofessional advice, I don't recommend that at all. But I feel like every once in a while, go crazy. I feel like we all can take life a little too serious sometimes, and we forget that we're just little molecules on this earth. Episode was kind of all over the place, and I just wonder how I'm gonna edit this, but thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for bearing with Unprofessional Advice. This was my episode. I wonder what I'm gonna name it. Future Sarah, clock in, please. But yeah, if y'all have any other topics you want me to talk about, let me know. But yeah, I highly petition bringing back club culture. I need to bring back the chunky heels, if that'll ever come back. That was my episode, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.